People will do anything in the name of love. And for musicians, that often means marrying someone much, much younger. These rock stars give new meaning to the phrase, age ain't nothing but a number. Billie Eilish whipped fans into a frenzy in 2022 when photos surfaced of her locking lips with Jesse Rutherford, singer of The Neighborhood, outside a Los Angeles restaurant. While rumors of celebrity romance will always get the masses talking, there was something else about their apparent relationship that really got people chatting: the 11-year age gap between them. At the time, Eilish was 20 years old, while Rutherford was 31. On November 1st, 2022, Eilish made their relationship Instagram official by posting a series of pics. While many people voiced their concern about the young adult singer dating a considerably older man, Eilish's brother Phineas O'Connell made it clear that their relationship didn't bother him. He went to a TikTok video criticizing him and wrote this response in the comments: "I want my sister to be happy and safe, and she is a 21-year-old adult perfectly entitled to make her own life decisions." However, Eilish and Rutherford broke up after less than a year of dating. The most uncomfortable age gap on this list is that between Elvis and Priscilla Presley. It's not the number of years that separated them that makes it so unbearable. It's that the romance began when he was 24 years old and she was only 14. A military brat, Priscilla's father was stationed in West Germany in 1959. It was there that she met Elvis. They were introduced by a mutual acquaintance who took Priscilla to Elvis's house for a party. During their first meeting, Priscilla told Elvis she was in 9th grade, but that didn't diminish his interest in her. They met again a few days later, and by their third meeting, they had their first kiss.
I saw a very innocent, very, very vulnerable Elvis Presley.
This sort of relationship would never fly today, and rightfully so. Still, Priscilla has assured fans that Elvis's love for her was innocent. At a press conference following the Venice Film Festival premiere of Sofia Coppola's film Priscilla, she said, "People think, oh, it was sex. Not at all. I never had sex with him. He was very kind, very soft, very loving. But he also respected the fact that I was only 14 years old. We were more in mind and thought, and that was our relationship." While Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Wood's relationship ended over a decade ago, it has continued to generate considerable controversy ever since. In fact, their romance kicked off with a scandalous start in 2006, as Wood was only 19 years old while Manson was 36. Their dubious affair continued in 2007, when the young actress appeared in the music video for Manson's song, Heart-Shaped Glasses, When the Heart Guides the Hand, which featured plenty of dark sexual imagery. Wood told The Edit in 2015, "I thought I was in love. I wasn't doing it to prove a point or be rebellious. I wanted to break a mold for sure. I knew I was edgier, more alternative, and weird. And Marilyn was just what I needed because I felt really free with him, and that freedom was attractive." While Manson and Wood were engaged in January 2010, it only lasted for 8 months, and the two ultimately went their separate ways. But in the wake of the Me Too movement, Wood released statements about being exploited by one of her previous partners.
What makes me more hurt and more angry than the actual rape and abuse itself was that piece of me that was stolen, which altered the course of my life.
Then in a February 2021 Instagram post, she confirmed the identity of her abuser, writing, "The name of my abuser is Brian Warner, also known to the world as Marilyn Manson. He started grooming me when I was a teenager and horrifically abused me for years." Paul McCartney needs no introduction, nor does his love life need much elaborating on. His first wife was Linda McCartney, with whom he famously formed the band Wings. After her tragic passing in 1998, he married Heather Mills in 2002, but that marriage ended badly in 2008. However, it's his marriage to his third wife, businesswoman Nancy Shevell, that's raised the most eyebrows, as she's 17 years younger than him. The two first met in 2007, while McCartney was in the process of divorcing Mills. At the time, they both were living in the Hamptons and frequently met for coffee. As soon as McCartney's divorce was finalized, he and Shevell embarked on a romance. The pair got hitched in 2011 and are still happily married today. In a 2023 interview on his website, McCartney said, "When it comes to being a husband, I see it as just trying to be good to my wife Nancy and trying to be considerate and romantic. I completely overdo Valentine's Day." Throughout his career, Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee has attracted as much attention for what he does offstage as what he does onstage. His high-profile love life includes marriages to actress Heather Locklear and Playboy model Pamela Anderson, the latter of which caused quite a stir when their sex tape leaked to the public in the 90s. However, his latest marriage to social media personality Brittany Furlan has attracted considerable scrutiny, largely due to the fact that she's 24 years younger than him.
He's a great dude, he's a great dude.
She endured a wave of criticism following the release of Anderson's book, Love Pamela, a memoir of prose, poetry, and truth. Furlan addressed her fans in a now-deleted TikTok video to say, I just wanted to come on here and let you know I'm okay, because I know people have been checking on me, which is really nice, and I'm good, don't worry. And don't worry about the people that are saying all the mean things they're saying. I don't live in that world. Not only did she make it clear that the criticism didn't bother her in the video, she also invited her critics to say whatever they wanted about her, pointing out that her comment section is always open. On July 4th, 2015, music icon Billie Joel and then-girlfriend Alexis Roderick surprised guests at their annual Independence Day party by getting married. Even more surprising, though, is the age gap between them. Joel is a whopping 33 years older than Roderick. Their relationship is all the more questionable as Joel's daughter, singer-songwriter Alexa Ray, is only 4 years younger than his wife. But things get dicier still when one learns the reason behind Joel's divorce from his third wife, Katie Lee. A mutual friend of the former couple told the New York Daily News, "It was really the age difference that caught up with them. They grew apart. She is very career-oriented. She loves going out. She loves the city. When Billie isn't touring, he'd rather be on Long Island with his motorcycles and boats." The age gap between Joel and Lee was 32 years, so hopefully this latest marriage fares better. It's no secret that Mick Jagger is a ladies' man. While only being legally married once, the Rolling Stones frontman has fathered 8 children with 5 different women. He's continued to provoke discussion about his latest relationship, this time with former ballerina Melanie Hamrick, who's 43 years his junior. The two first started dating in 2014 and had a son together in 2016. In a June 2023 interview with People, Hamrick addressed the rumors spreading about the ring she was seen sporting, saying, "I mean, I have to giggle because did Mick give me the ring? Yes. Is it for that finger? Yes. In my mind, it's a promise ring. We'll be immature and call it a promise ring." While initially downplaying any possibility of them tying the knot, there have been rumblings that the so-called promise ring is indeed an engagement ring. However, as of December 2023, no official announcement has been released from the Jagger-Hamrick camp. Jimmy Page's latest lover, poet Scarlett Sabet, is a whole 46 years younger than him. The couple tried to keep their romance a secret, but when the news broke, they endured no shortage of criticism. Sabet told Tadler, "I guess some people will say I've made an unusual choice. At the time, it felt very uncomfortable. I felt like my life was going to be over. I had such a sense of shame about the whole thing." Despite the age gap, Page and Sabet have bonded over their shared creative passions and treat their home like an artist's haven. Sabet revealed to Tadler, "Jimmy's children come and stay, which is lovely. My siblings come too. We had a big family lunch for my birthday at Pharmacy last year, and then all came back to Tower House for tea and cake. Other than that, we'd like it to be just us. I feel so safe here. It's such an inspiring house." Adam Duritz has been rocking non-stop since the early 1990s, most notably with his band Counting Crows. As a high-profile rock star, it's no wonder he's been romantically linked to several A-list actresses, such as Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox. However, his most controversial relationship was with actress Emmy Rossum, whom he started dating when he was 45 and she was 23. During the launch of the W Hotel in Washington, D.C., Rossum told People, "I get why chicks dig him. He's extremely kind, incredibly intelligent, thoughtful, creative, and respectful." While the couple called it quits in 2009, it sounds like their introduction was a dream come true for the young actress at the time. Rossum revealed on the radio show Valentine in the Morning, "I was on tour with the band this summer. They invited me, actually, on Twitter. That's how we met, on a dare. They dared me to come sing with them a song that I'd never sung before. So I ended up on tour with the band, and it was very, very fun." In the annals of musical artists dating someone substantially younger than them, it's usually the male who's the older one. However, Jennifer Lopez proved that she's just as capable as any male pop star of attracting a far more youthful mate. The mate in question is Beau Casper Smart, who was previously her backup dancer and is 18 years her junior. Not long after rumors began to spread about their relationship, Lopez confirmed that they were dating in 2013 to Harper's Bazaar. She told the outlet, "He's fantastic. He's like my best friend. I can tell him everything, when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling good. He gives moral support, endless love and support."
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whose position is what, because she's the boss.
Since her relationship with Smart ended, Lopez developed a bit of a reputation for specifically dating younger guys only. However, during an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she was quick to point out that this wasn't necessarily the case, saying, "I dated Beau when he was younger, and that was the first guy I ever dated who was younger than me. And then I got labeled right away. If there's somebody older, they're older. If they're younger, they're younger. It doesn't matter. It's whether or not I'm attracted to them or not." Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon made waves when they first got together because of their 11-year age gap. The couple sparked rumors of their relationship when Cannon was seen in the music video for her 2008 song Bye Bye. They got married soon after and later welcomed twins. Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted for 6 years, and it seems that the difference in age factored into the breakup. A source told Hollywood Life, "He wanted to party and she wanted to stay home with the kids. He's young. The age difference played a huge role in this. She's not easy to get along with, a total diva, never happy and always making demands. He never wanted to be home." However, despite the acrimonious split in 2014, Carey and Cannon have since patched things up and remain friendly.
I mean, we speak every day, we talk about the children's schooling.
Cannon has spoken highly of her, though he recognizes that Carey's defenders still have a bone to pick with him. In an interview with The Shade Room, Cannon revealed, "I always talk about that and then it goes viral and then all her fans get mad at me. I was 12 years old with Mariah Carey pictures on my wall, and that becomes my wife. And the fact that she's the coolest person I ever met. I get a lot of this delightful disposition from her." As a member of the Rolling Stones, it's safe to assume that guitarist Ronnie Wood has lived a pretty wild life. So it's surprising that Wood has managed to settle down, get married, and have some children. But given the fact that he's a rock star, it's less surprising that he ended up with a woman who is about 30 years younger than him. That woman is Sally Humphreys. She first met Wood when she was working at a theater, where he was hanging up some of his art. Wood's marriage to his then-wife Jo was nearing its end, so it wasn't long before he and Humphreys started dating and eventually got married. When asked about the age difference, Humphreys told The Telegraph, Well, I know it's there, and I wish it wasn't, but it is. I think I had to say I can't do this because of the age, or I just had to let it go and take it all on board. At no point years ago did I say to myself, I think I'll go out with someone twice my age, but that is what has happened." Of course, the couple have endured their fair share of ridicule, prompting Humphreys to defend their marriage in the Daily Mail. She told the outlet, "Yes, he is older and I am younger, but I don't think about age when I think of Ronnie. He's always had this unbelievably positive, youthful energy about him, which I love." Singer and songwriter Sonny Ozell may not be a household name, but her marriage to Patrick Stewart has certainly catapulted her into the limelight. Considering the fact that she's 39 years younger than him, their age difference is usually brought up in interviews. Ozell told the Daily Mail, "He is so youthful and I guess I'm kind of an old worrywart, so we bridge the gap. It hasn't come up much. He's in better shape than me, which infuriates me." While Ozell has managed to take the age difference in stride, Stewart has had a bit of a rougher time with it. In the same interview with the Daily Mail, he pointed out how his age is very much on his mind, saying, "Right now what my age means is that I go to a load of memorial services. This has been a horrible start to the year. My generation, some of them younger than me, are going. I get this urge to say, don't go." Making things worse was the fact that Ozell's father initially wasn't happy with the idea of his daughter being with such an older man. However, he has since learned to not only accept it, but joke about it. He's even gone so far as to refer to Stewart, who is 5 years younger than him, as his son. Madonna has always been one to flout social conventions, so is it any wonder that she once dated a man almost a third her age? That's right, the Like a Virgin singer was previously in a relationship with a 23-year-old model, Andrew Darnell. At the time, Madonna was 64. While speaking about the singer's relationship with Darnell, a source told Hollywood Life, although some of her friends think the fact that he is 23 is a bit strange, Madonna does not seem to care at all. She has never really let age affect her decision on who to date and who not to date. And it is not like Madonna is going to settle down, nor does she want to.
I think something really beautiful has come out of it.
Obviously, the relationship didn't last very long, with a source telling Page 6, "It was only a very casual thing, so she's not brokenhearted. It's just that it has come at a bad time. She's having a bit of a crisis of confidence, and this doesn't help. She had a lot of fun with Andrew, but it was never love or anything like that." In fact, Madonna's fling with Darnell was even shorter than her relationship with 28-year-old backup dancer Ala Malik Williams, which lasted about 3 years. Rod Stewart has had more than his fair share of ups and downs in the romance category, and considering the countless loves he's had in his life, Stewart seems like the last guy to finally settle down. But that's exactly what he did when he married Penny Lancaster, who's 26 years younger than him.
1945 I was born, when the bombs were dropping.
During her appearance on Loose Women, she pointed out the misconceptions people have about their age difference, saying, "People would often say to me, 'What about his age? Does it matter?' I'm like, he's a little schoolboy. He's the naughtiest, little funniest guy to be with. He's got a lot of strength and he works out regularly, so I find him very sexy, appealing, all that." Of course, because the couple had 2 children while Stewart was in his 60s, the situation forced Lancaster to consider the inevitability of her husband dying before her. On another episode of Loose Women, she said, Rod's in his 70s, early 70s, and we have a huge family base at home, and there's a lot of activities. My life is based on the family. The children will be grown up and gone, so I kind of feel like I need to prepare